Social Plug Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? I am Johnny Martinez, and you are plugged into the Social Plug Podcast, where we are connecting you to level up and where we discuss ordinary people doing extraordinary things. We're always powered by Social Plug Media, and today we're at Greenleaf Studios at Greenleaf Health and Wellness in New Braunfels, Texas. Behind the cameras and in front of that beautiful backdrop there, we got J-Rock, our engineer. What's going on, J-Rock? Pointing the finger at everybody. Remember, when you point the finger, you get four pointed back at you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what they say. Who knows?
What do you mean four? Is it like this? Is that what you mean by four?
When you point,
or is it like that? Ooh.
Four. Today's podcast is sponsored by Top Flight Realty Group. These guys are your go-to real estate experts when it comes to helping you buy or sell real estate. They specialize in helping veterans and military families and are located in the San Antonio area and are also a military trusted resource. They work hard for you with trust, faith, and confidence, and you can find them on social media and also at topflightrealtygroup.com. I'm excited about today's show. We got a very, very, very special guest, Donnie E Current II. What's going on, man? You got the pineapple shirt on, looking like you're in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. This is by design, dog. This is by design. Hey, every military person that's in the Marine Corps that looks at this will understand the reason for this shirt.
You got the sharp hair. I know you don't want the headphones there touching that fine hair. Looks like you got some great hair products in there.
It takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying. I'm a gamer, and so when I game, like nobody wants that little hole.
No, I'm the same way, man. I can't have that crease in my hair. And I got great hair products too.
Dude, you must be a champ at that, bro. I can never have my headphones just sit like this. They would be slipping off. And I wear those Turtle Beaches, man. So I don't know how you do that. Hey, you gangster with that one. Let's go.
So Donnie, you are a Master Gunnery Sergeant in the Marine Corps, currently serving.
Yes.
You're a published author.
True.
And your book is Go With God, But Make Him Walk Point. I'll show you the book right here. Great book, and we'll talk about that more in depth throughout the show. You are a world traveler. You're an adrenaline junkie.
Facts.
You're a scuba diver.
Oh yeah.
No, we'll talk about those different tattoos and things like that. You got your own clothing line as well.
Yes.
And most importantly, out of all those different titles and different positions, you're a dad, husband, and family man.
Oh yes.
Hell yeah, man! Welcome to the show.
Good to be here, man. This is I appreciate the intro.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I was like, man, he talking about someone that's really.
Who the hell am I talking about
I was
here?
like, that dude is amazing. Oh, me. Oh, hold on.
Dude, you and I'm sure I left off about 15 different things as well.
No, I think you just, everybody's trying to be the change they want to see in the world. And I just have bucket lists, things that I want to do before I leave. Like, at the end of the day, everyone wants to be remembered. The things you do will dictate how you're remembered.
Absolutely, man.
Good, bad, or indifferent. So.
You got a legacy. We'll talk about that as well. But let me introduce yourself. You can talk about any of those things that we spoke about.
Yeah.
But let me hear about you in your own voice, man.
All right. What do you want to know specifically?
Let's talk about the Marine Corps. You're currently in the Marine Corps, right?
I am.
You've been in the Marine Corps for how long?
Almost 26 years.
Almost 26 years. And when do you hit 26?
I hit 26 October 6th.
So when is your retirement date?
October 6th by design.
So on October 6th, 26 years, my man, that is a long time. That's a quarter of a century, just over.
Yeah. I've been in the Marine Corps over half of my life. So now I just got to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. Right?
How old were you when you joined the Marine Corps?
I was technically 17 when I enlisted, and then 18 when I went to boot camp. Me and my identical twin brother, by the way. He's still active duty. Shout out to my brother Ronnie. Keep doing your thing.
All right, so he's identical to you.
Yeah.
In every way. But
I don't think we look alike.
But you're better looking, right?
But if I had to call somebody handsome, it would be him. it would be him,
There's somebody I call handsome.
If I had to.
Dude, I don't know if I'd want a twin, somebody looking like me, hanging out.
It's got its pros and cons. It's got its pros. It's one of those things where, like, because there's two of us, we both have the same name, same rank, same face. Mm-hmm. If you've worked with him or you've worked with me, you know that. And so when people see my brother, they walk up to him and think he's me. But he's rude about how he addresses it. Like, I'm nice. My brother will stop you mid-sentence and be like, I don't know you. You think it's my brother. And they just walk off.
That's it?
Yeah. He's
Dude, so you guys got two personalities.
They're similar though. They're similar, but I'm way nicer. I'm the nicest person I know if you ask me.
I was gonna say you're pretty nice, bro. The way we met you at Downtown Social, you seem like you're a nice guy. For a second there, Johnny, you probably been thought Johnny was like, trying to talk, put business out there.
I thought he was an old friend. I was like,
So the way we met, Donnie, we were at a mixer, a military
the
meetup,
Mill City meetup,
put on by the forefathers of it used to be called LinkedIn Mill City. Now they're Mill City Meetup. Quincy Harper. Okay, we had him on a podcast previously. So I saw you from across the bar, and it wasn't in that way, but I saw you had your name on your chest here, and I said, "What's going on, Donnie? How are you, man?" And you were like, "Do I know you? Have I seen you before?"
I said, I can't complain. It can always be worse. And I said, "What do you do?" And you said, "Whatever it takes." And I said, "I like that.
Whatever it takes. That's what I do." Yeah, including inviting you out to join us today.
Yeah, to come out here and kind of give a snapshot of who I am and what I do.
So we kind of hit it off, and the rest is history. Now we're going to be lifelong friends.
Yeah, we
man.
BFFs, man. I got you in my Fab Five.
Got you in the Fab Five.
Fab Five is that Verizon?
For those that
I think that was T-Mobile back in the day. It was like a T-Mobile thing. You can only pick 5 people.
Like you can't get rid of me now. You know, I'm here. I'm gonna just randomly text you like
unlimited texting calls.
Yeah, man. So Marine Corps, you're the highest enlisted rank that you can possibly get. You're E9.
Yes, I can.
Master
I can't
Guns.
Get promoted anymore.
Master Guns, man.
There's no E10, so I'm doing pretty good, I think.
So you're obviously a leader in the military.
I'd like to think so, but I think that the people that you lead are the ones that are spokesperson for you. Like, at the end of the day, to me, my evaluation should be based on the people that I lead. They should have say so. I think the worst thing you can do is promote somebody or put somebody in a leadership position that, one, they don't deserve to be there, or they're just toxic. Because toxicity spreads.
Do we see that often in the military?
We do in anything, I think, but that's the problem with like specific roles that you do anywhere, right? Like the military gives you temporary opportunities to go show what you're worth. A toxic person can get a lot done in a little bit of time. One of my favorite quotes is, "There's no such thing as a bad leader, only better ones." Because I'm a firm believer in, I learned just as much from the horrible leaders as I did the really good ones. So I learned what not to be. So, I mean, everything's a life lesson. So
Exactly, man. And that quote hits home. Nobody's a bad leader, because bad is so subjective.
Yes.
Good leader is subjective. It all depends on how much value they put into you. I've had some shitty leaders in my career. And they made me better, because I was like, I don't want to be like that when I'm in that position.
Yep.
How can I do that better? How can this person do it better?
Yep.
But ultimately, they gave me thicker skin. They gave me better. They gave me a life lesson.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's all how you respond to that leader, or shitty leader, or great leader.
Oh yeah.
But
it lets you know how to navigate horrible leaders. Like some of the leaders I met in the beginning, I handled it probably wrong. As I got older and stayed in the Marine Corps, I learned how to handle horrible leaders. They may not have liked it, because there's a lot more leeway when you're competent and you got a reputation. But you learn how to navigate those circles, and I think that's one of the best things that the military does. Like, no matter what, you're changing bosses and people that you work with every 4 years. So your ability to adapt to life is being honed from the moment you come in this outfit, and that's one thing I do appreciate.
Absolutely, man. Well, thanks for your service.
Thanks for the support,
and thanks
brother.
for your leadership. What kind of leader were you, man? Were you one of those hardcore guys, or did you give the guys the autonomy?
I think it depends on at what time of my career I was in, but also, like, Marine Corps operates off of principles. One of my favorite ones is know your Marines. I've got some Marines that, in order for me to get that point across, I have to go ham on them. But they understand why. And I have some that I don't have to raise my voice ever. I just have a conversation.
Or just look a certain way.
Yeah, just
that's the way my dad used to be. He would just look at me and I already knew.
Yeah, so if you know the people that are working for you, you know how to adjust to their problems, their situations, and you know what to do to ignite them to be better, to make them better performers. So
transitioning out, you got something lined up?
I'm working on some things. Luckily, like the Marine Corps has understood that I've done a lot of sacrifice, and I've been overseas the last 14 years of my career with my wife and kids. So I'm being allowed a lot of leeway in how I operate. So I burn and leave. I'm doing permissive TAD. I'm approved for a skill bridge program. Now it's just finding what I want to do long term, because skill bridge, hiring our heroes, whatever venue you take is an opportunity to step into something, and then there's a career following that. But I've been doing this for 26 years. I don't really know where my passions are,
right,
or if I'm willing to do it long term. So that's
you
why
know
I
your
always tell everybody that.
passions within the military, but now outside. And let me tell you this, as an Air Force retiree, life is great on the other side. All right, welcome aboard. Welcome to the club. It's great. Everything we learned in the military, whether good or bad, be leaderships or leaders, good or bad leaders, you're going to utilize them in the civilian sector. And then one of the things that I do to mentor people that are transitioning out, start early. Start building relationships. Start going to these mixers. Start asking people who are retired, how do you set up for your life insurance? How do you set up for your insurance, medical insurance, all these different things. But more importantly, set yourself up for a career that you're going to have generational wealth or something like that. Or who knows, maybe you just want to be a Walmart greeter.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool too.
I keep telling everybody I'm searching for passion and purpose. Like, I think anybody can chase dollars, right? And there's nothing wrong with that for someone that is chasing money. What I'm chasing is something when I go to bed at night and I wake up in the morning, I'm passionate about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
Right.
And the overall impact. Like, I think the reason you said you retired from the Air Force, you don't stay in for the money or the benefits that come with it. To be honest, you stay with it because the impact you can make on the people that are with you. So that's what I'm seeking now that I'm transitioning. So. And
you're still going to have people that you mentored in the Marine Corps call you.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I still get calls to this
boss,
day.
sir, Gunny, and it's going to make you feel good because you still feel relevant and you still feel like you're providing value to people in their decision making and in their life choices.
Well, that's
as well.
the reason. So not to transition to my book without you leading that, but
well, let's talk about your book.
Yeah.
So it's called "Go with God, but Make Him Walk Point."
Yes.
This is a very inspirational book. It has a lot of cool things, but I'll let you introduce it.
So the bottom line up front is everybody has mentors, somebody that has like inspired them throughout their life. But the problem with being a mentor and having mentors is the moment your name is no longer used in those circles, you become irrelevant. And every day is an opportunity to prove your relevancy or stay relevant. My entire 20 plus years in the Marine Corps, I would be in a class or hearing a speech or hearing something, and I would write down things that I heard people say that I felt was important. And then I would write below it how I interpreted that slogan. Same thing with the leadership one we just had. The title is unique because I was in Iraq 2003, deployed for the first time. And I read that quote, and I instantly thought about why we were fighting, who we were fighting, and what their reason was. And that's where it came from. Go with God, but make him walk point. The point man for a military organization is one of the most important people because they identify threats and they're the first ones up front. Whoever regardless of your religion, but whoever you believe in and you put your faith in, that is who you want to be your point man. And when I read that, I said, I'm gonna write a book one day and that's gonna be the title. The book itself is like 50 plus quotes that I've heard over the years and how I interpret them. But the next page is a your thoughts page. You may hear a quote that I heard and you may interpret it completely different than I did. You get to jot that down as your thoughts, right? And how you interpret it. And then you can share it with whoever you want. It can be your kids. It can be somebody you know. But you can say, hey, what do you think about this? And, so on and so forth. So.
I love it, man. I love reading some of these quotes, and there's a lot of different interpretations. Just like you read a regular quote anywhere, everybody has two or three different reasonings or what it actually means. So you have this book, and where can we find this book?
Right now it's on Amazon.com. Literally, if you type in my name or you type in the title of the book. It'll pop up.
So here it is again. Go with God, but make him walk point. It's an orange book. It's got a soldier on front, and it's got a lot of value and a lot of nuggets that you can utilize. So world traveler, Donnie, you've been all over the damn place, man.
Yeah, I have.
All right, so what are your top 3 places that you can say, man, these things changed my life?
Top 3. For sheer shock and awe, Egypt by far. Standing in front of pyramids and realize how insignificant you are. It's a very awe-inspiring moment. Actual, like when you see a landscape, Scotland, hands down. Me and my family went to Scotland one year, and I've never been to a place where I could be going to breakfast and just randomly see a castle and go explore that castle. And then I leave that castle because I'm still heading to breakfast and see another castle, and then I go explore that castle. It was just amazing to see a landscape that green and that just significant.
These castles are just vacant, bro? Like there's nobody in these castles?
Some are vacant. Some are actually built up for touring. Some have actually been remodeled and, brought to life so you can see how it used to look. But that was amazing. As far as peace and sheer beauty,
that's pretty cool.
Okinawa, Japan, hands down. Hands down.
So peace, what do you mean? Like there's no violence, there's no anything going wrong, and everything's as peaceful and as perfect as you can get?
It is probably the most equal I've ever felt my entire life. My daughter, at 8.
Really?
At 8, used to walk our dog 2 miles to the beach by herself. I can't let my daughter go to the bus stop right now.
I won't let her play in the front yard by herself.
You see what I'm saying? There's it is nothing to see a 4-year-old walking to school by themselves.
Wow.
Well, let me tell you this. The last guys we had on the podcast, they were cooking at 3 years old. All right. So your daughter's walking at 8 years old, 2 miles down the beach. So let's revisit. So you got Egypt for its sheer awesomeness, right? And the pictures don't do it any justice.
No, not at all. They don't. And
so let's talk about that, man. I'm very intrigued by history. I subscribe to the Discovery Channel Plus and all these different things, right? I know J-Rock likes aliens. He's back there. He's back there. He's itching. He's doing
itching.
This. Like, let's talk about aliens, man. Yeah, let's talk about that. So the Sphinx and the pyramids and all that. I always wonder, how in the hell did they build these huge structures? Because the rocks are
massive,
higher than this ceiling here.
Massive, like and that's I think that's where the shock and awe comes.
And they had shitty equipment. I know they did.
Yeah. Well, like, think about it. That's what makes.
They had to. When they have a fucking shovel and a little pet.
But that's what makes it so shocking. Like when you stand there, you realize how small you are. Like it's hard to describe in words how you feel, especially when you see something like the Sphinx. I was lucky. I took my wife there for our anniversary one year. Like, we got to go inside of a pyramid. Like, to go into a pyramid and see how it's built, the inscriptions, the hieroglyphics. So
the ceilings are really, really high. Then, I mean, I've seen pictures. Obviously, like you said, it doesn't give them no justice. But like, they're pretty high.
When you go in some of them, because you're moving through the pyramid to get to a room, right?
Okay. And it's one. Each pyramid represents one king or prince or something like that, or one dignitary.
I think they're still trying to figure that out all together, because every time you look on TV, there's something else being discovered.
And there's mummies in there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any. The only mummies I saw was in the museum. So I don't know how I would have felt had I been
like, oh shit, there's a mummy, like Scooby-Doo or something.
Yeah,
man.
It might have been a whole different story.
That's hilarious.
I might have been saying the scariest place I went was Egypt, but
so speaking of that too, Donnie, I hear that you're a video game guy. What do you think about this Quest or the things that they're making that you basically can travel the world and it seems like you're literally there?
Oh, just the VR type aspect.
Yeah, VR. Like, yeah, I mean, we were talking kind of off camera how much you love video games, but like, that aspect of like, as much as you've traveled, and if you've seen any of those type of VR things, like, do you feel like it's real similar? Obviously, the experience is definitely different.
I think that VR is a perfect way for people to find out what might inspire them. Like, I am an avid diver. Every picture on my arm I took. These are all photos that I took scuba diving. Someone that has never had an opportunity, whether they be landlocked, whether they don't know anything about it, they can put on a VR headset and go scuba diving. Minus the tank and everything else.
Right.
But somebody that has never been in the ocean could probably see a video like that and say, you know what, that is something I want to do one day.
With this new AI, it's incredible. Some of the things I've seen, it makes you feel like you're right there.
Johnny should have
Exactly.
tried that first before going to touch all that stuff underneath where he freaked out right
So
now.
I was scuba diving. I scuba dove in scuba dove. Is that the right word? I mean,
Scuba dove?
I dove.
I've never heard scuba
That sounds like
dove, but
something I
we're
would
gonna
say.
use it for this
Yeah,
for the
you, can say,
show.
you can say I dove.
I dove. Okay. So I didn't scuba dive. I was snorkeling, and I never ever snorkeled in my life. So I had this apparatus, and I didn't know how to breathe. I thought I was breathing my last breath, man. So I didn't know that I could just breathe smoothly and regular and breathe slower, but I was hyperventilating.
Yeah.
And then this coach or whoever was with me, he was putting all kinds of stuff in my hand, like sea urchins and starfish and all, and he's freaking me the hell out, man. I had schools of fish going to my leg, and I thought, I was like, in my head for a second, I was like, this is how I'm going out.
This is
This is it. This is
I'm
how
going
I'm
out
final
in,
moment.
in Cozumel, in the ocean, and this is it.
I mean, this is what I would say is that snorkeling can be a gateway into whether you want to scuba dive, because no one that enjoys snorkeling has ever seen something at the bottom or just in the ocean and said, man, I wish I could be closer to that. Not touch it, because that's how people get messed up. But I wish I could be
Steve
closer
Irwin
to
is-
it.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could be closer to it. And I think scuba diving is just that next evolution. Scuba diving is controlled sinking. You have a vest that is air. It has air in it. You can put air in it, and then you add weights to it to control that, to control your buoyancy. So at the end of the day, it's a dangerous sport, but you have to know what your left and right limits are. So
Dangerous in the sense that you're dealing with your air and limitations in your air. You're dealing with the pressure of the water, and probably with some sharks and shit, right?
oh, I got video of sharks. I've swam with hammerheads. I've got one on my arm actually that I took a photo of.
Sure.
Dangerous in the sense of your curiosity can always get the best of you underwater. When you learn to dive without using your hands. So you shouldn't be using your hands underwater.
That'll be tough for me, man. I talk with my hands, use the knife hand.
I know,
do all kinds of
you didn't hit me up a couple of times.
Yeah,
I was
man, I'm about-
dodging.
karate chop. You know.
But yeah, diving is it's an amazing experience. It changed my life. I've been diving since 2009. So, wow.
So I'm gonna ask this for J-Rock. You believe in aliens?
I think as a diver, I think that if you go underwater, you'll see things that you would probably assume aliens look like.
I bet, man. I bet you there is aliens underneath there.
Those
They're hiding somewhere.
those anglers and sea urchins, and man, they look creepy and crazy, man.
Yeah, but it's such a amazing experience.
Who know? Hey, maybe there are aliens. Who knows? I mean,
I think there are. They got to be coming from somewhere down there. They got something that's coming out.
Who knows?
Because every time they're up, they come down eventually. And then where they going? They got to go in the water where nobody else nobody
Well,
else
right
can
now
go.
you have so many people talking about that they saw aliens back in the day. I think that
you got Navy pilots now putting out books.
retired pilots saying that they've seen it in their teams. I think the universe is too big for it to just be us.
Yeah.
But what they look like, what they sound like, I don't know. I'm like, hey, if an alien wants to meet me, hey, by all means. What my goal is simply this: if I run into anybody, I want to represent what America is supposed to be, the nation. So. If it's an alien, by all means, hey, come on, man. We'll hey, you need a place to stay? I got you. I got a full fridge. Hey, my kids are well behaved. You know, like I think that's what our everybody's role should be, to be the best version of what they're supposed to be.
Hell yeah, man. So you're a world traveler, and you believe in time. Time is time subjective? I don't know. My next question is this: if you can travel back in time anywhere throughout history, whether it be the dinosaurs, the times of when Jesus roamed the earth, or even to the future, where would you want to go, man, and why?
I would like to go in the future, probably about 50 years, just because like everyone, whether someone's talking about climate control or whatever they believe in, I think that in 50 years we'll look back to where we are now, like as a nation, and say, okay, what could we have done better? So I would like to get a snapshot of that to say, hey, we made it, or we didn't, or we learned from the lessons, because we always resort to the past to say, how can we learn? I think that would be the easiest way to do it. If I could travel 50 years in the future and look back and we're better than we are now, then we're learning as we go along. We're evolving.
So you take the Jetsons over the Flintstones?
Oh, yeah. I'm good. I'm good with the Flintstones. Hey, you don't know. I'm not trying to.
So what kind of games you be gaming up on, Donnie?
I'm a gamer, so I play a little bit of everything. Currently, I'm playing Call of Duty, Diablo 4, Street Fighter, and I still rock Forza.
So a lot of people are saying that the Call of Duties and the Modern Warfares are being jacked up as of late. Like the programming sucks. We're hearing a lot of that right now. Do you agree with that, or you kind of just enjoy it for what it is?
I enjoy it for what it is. It's a game. The same person that says that any game sucks, there's thousands, probably millions of other people that enjoy them. I think when your expectation of what a game should be supersedes your reasoning, like if you're that upset about Call of Duty, like I feel like you got bigger issues. Like sometimes they get rid of playlists I don't like, and I'm like, man, they got rid of this. But it's not like I'm boycotting them, because I still enjoy the game. And if I don't like it, guess what? Move on to the next game.
Right.
Like I think if you're that committed to one game, then one, you should be gaming professionally, and then you can probably influence the people that are doing it. But aside from that, it's a game. Enjoy it.
What about Diablo? Have you been following Diablo since the very beginning?
Oh yeah. I had Diablo. I've had Diablo since its inception. So I was looking forward to 4.
So you've seen the very first one where it was like on a regular computer or something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, this is my first one I've ever been introduced to. Yeah. So my buddy Zach he actually is a area director for district area director or whatever, manager for Buffalo Wild Wings. And I always tell him how bad his burgers are, by the way. So if he's watching this, they're bad.
Who the hell eats Buffalo Wild Wings burgers?
Hey, I'm getting there. And I think the wings are shit too.
That mango habanero.
Yeah. Is it good? Is it good? Okay. I got to give him shit. But anyway, he got me into Diablo. And I was like, dude, like how long ago did this game come out? Like the very first one? He said it's been years, like 20 years.
Years.
So I heard this has been one of the biggest games, obviously, that they've had, but it's one of the top games right now.
Well, anybody that's played video games understands that games evolve, right? Whether it be Mario Brothers, Street Fighter. I mean, we're on Street Fighter 6 right now, whatever. I think that's what the intent is for everything. Like even the vehicles that we purchase now, they're not the vehicles that we had years ago. So I think that's how games are. If you're buying a sequel to the game and it's the exact same thing, then the game didn't evolve, and then you just don't support it. But yeah, you actually jumped in a good time, because not only does the new one look and play amazing, but it's a fun time, especially if you got people that you play with.
Yeah. And I didn't know that. I didn't know it was like a group up with your boys and you go and knock out all these.
That's almost creatures. Every game that I play.
Really, it's more. Yeah. I tried to get Johnny to play Call of Duty a couple times.
I wish I had time to sit there and play games, man.
I think what it is, though,
you gotta make time.
Yeah, you do. You really do. And like, to me, I really feel like it's therapeutic for me, man. Like
it is.
Like it's one place you can go where you can just have this imagination, and whether you think it's real or not, some people take it a little too serious with even Grand Theft Auto, but like, it's just fun. I think you got to really have fun.
When I put a headset on to play games, whatever game I'm playing, I usually have service members that I've played with and I've come up with my entire career on the other end.
It builds camaraderie too.
Yeah, and that's our way. I mean, the only difference is we're not sitting on a couch together, but it's the exact same interaction. The jokes are still the same. We laugh, we play catch up, the whole nine. And if people can establish that type of rapport and camaraderie over a video game, like, I'm okay with that. Like, my kids are gamers. I monitor who they talk to. to make sure that everything's legit. But
Yeah.
my kids have friends that they've been playing with for years that they've never seen. But if something happened to them right now, it would affect them because those are people that have been there throughout their years. So.
I had this conversation with Zach the other day. I said, bro, it's so crazy that, and the pandemic did this to us. We got so busy before the pandemic that we never got to hang out with each other. Pandemic happened, Call of Duty came out. Never liked any type of those games. I was nothing but sports gamer. Well, that was like one of the first games I've ever stuck my brain into, obviously, because of COVID, and it brought us all together. Yeah. And we met guys in there that I've never physically even seen. Nick, it's gonna bother me that I don't know his last name, and I'm sorry, Zoomy. We call him Zoomy. And Nick, he told me he met you maybe about almost a year ago, Johnny, and he was at this event, and I see him on Facebook. And I never even met him until like a couple months ago, like literally a couple months ago. But you get so close with these people, it's so crazy because you talk to them every day. Like I've been so close with Zach as of late because I've probably been talking to him at least every day for the past 2 years now, which who I grew up with and went to high school with. So it's crazy how much gaming can do that for you now,
So J-Rock, let me ask you this. You like Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, yeah.
You like punching those hookers on there? You like doing that?
That's one game I'm not even like a fan of.
You'll be surprised what goes on in that game now. You go to comedy shows, you can go to strip club, you can go to the casino now.
It's like real life.
Or not.
I'm not even giving it justice, bro. Trust me, this game is crazy now.
Yeah, that's one game I haven't really got into. Like,
go beat up the hooker.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me. But
punching hookers, man.
It's just gaming, right? Gaming is an outlet, no matter what, and it's a decompressor, like he said. You can be removed from reality in a video game. I told somebody one day that video games are interactive books because there are stories that you can play on a game that immerse you in that thing. The same way like when you read a book and you feel in what they look like and all those other things. It's the same concept. So
you're using your motor skills, you're using your imagination, your brain's just going. I think it keeps you flowing and young. Yeah. My parents, my grandparents, they didn't have video games, and they were real simple, simple type people. They were work ethic. Their focus was on a whole bunch of different things. J-Rock here likes punching hookers on Grand Theft Auto, so I mean it's just different. He was
mad he couldn't do it on Diablo. He was like, what?
Where were these hookers in Super Mario?
Yeah, man. You're finding mushrooms and coins on Super Mario Brothers, trying to beat
the good old days.
Yeah, man. Life was a lot more simple back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Right. So let's talk about your clothing line.
Okay. So I went to Bahrain for one of my duty stations, and I met up with a bunch of guys. And the unit was like interesting in how it operated, but what wasn't happening was there was no camaraderie built into the thing. So me and like 5 of my buddies, we created a clothing line. We created the group then, and then I jump started and made it official by doing the clothing line. And then my brother was in Japan at the time, so I reached out to him, and he kind of like jump started in Asia. I was doing it there, and then when we got there, we did it. So it's like 3 of us that actually like run it collectively. Right now, the issue that we're running into is it's been ran by 3 active duty Marines, so we can't supply and demand the way we want to. So right now, what I'm looking for is somebody to be a distributor. I need somebody can go online, click a link, order it, and it's made at their place. It's shipped at their place, and all of that's done. And the reason I say that is because the people that understand the product that we're creating want the product. They want it. It makes sense. It merges ranks. It's beneficial. It's fun. It's motivating. Whatever you want to call it. But you need to be able to reach out and touch that. And I just don't have the time to do it. And no one else does right now either. So if you're out there and you have a clothing place, a print shop, let me know. Hey, we can work something
Let's get you on Shark Tank, man.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Go talk to these sharks.
Yeah,
so
it's the Savage Sevens, Hateful Eights, and Spiteful Nines, and
Damon John, is that his name? From Shark Tank, Fubu.
So I know FUBU. I don't know.
Yeah. So the owner or the CEO of FUBU he's on Shark Tank.
Is that the black gentleman?
Yes.
Okay.
Damon John has a
When
dad
you said
joke.
FUBU, I kind of assumed.
Yeah, that's old school. That's kind of like Jabot, Jordache, and I know
Hey,
J-Rock don't remember any of that stuff.
I used to have a FUBU sweater. I mean, I look at the pictures now, I'm like, ooh, man, I was wearing that.
Did you ever watch that movie How High when he talks about Bufu?
No.
Buy us, fuck you.
How high was Method Man in there?
Yeah, Method Man.
Method Man, Red Man. Hell yeah, that's
man,
one of my favorite movies.
You making me feel old.
See, even movies, they don't make movies like they did back in the
Hell
day.
no, you can't make a movie like that.
Today,
man.
everything is a comic
You
book or
cannot
some kind
make
of
a movie
Marvel.
like that.
Hey,
Marvel
first of all,
movie, man.
I will never knock comics at all because comics kept me engaged when I was younger. Like, my mom knew she had us in everything, whether it was church, whether it was sports, whether it was clubs, but she made us always be engaged in something. And comics was one of those things that kept me from doing the wrong things. So to be able at this point now to see what I used to read in a comic book on the screen, I'll never complain about it. And it's been a gateway for me to like have that and share that experience with my kids. Like my kids know when the movie come out, I'm like, hey, girls, let's go. We about to go see it. So
comics,
Yes.
I used to read through Heathcliff. Remember that? The cat? That's old school.
yes,
But you talking about comics like Superman and
I'm talking,
Batman and stuff like that.
Comics.
Heathcliff. J-Rock, you need to look that up. Heathcliff the cat.
There's
Heathcliff the cat.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
It's like
Heathcliff.
J-Rock thinks it's Garfield.
Yeah. Hey, Garfield too? So, yeah, man. Old school, I think. Are you old school or you like the new school? Just overall. Music, sports.
I'm old school with music. But I'm not ignorant to the fact that the world has to evolve. The world has to evolve. Like, and that's the same way I am with sports. Like, records are meant to be broken. I don't get upset when somebody breaks it. I don't get into debates of who's better or who's worse or none of that crap. I'm like, life evolves. Like, think about it. When people were playing football, they had leather helmets. Trust me. Like when it first began, right? Like, you have to evolve in sport.
The helmets have evolved in the past 10 years.
Well, think about it. The athlete in general has evolved at this point. Like,
Bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
bigger
me
guys.
as a fan, I'm just there to be entertained. Like, to me, I don't care what you did to get there. That's on you. Like, I am here to be entertained. And as long as you're entertaining me, because that's what you do, you're an entertainer, right? I expect you to own your craft like I own mine. And at the end of the day, if you want to use that platform to be positive, be negative, whatever, that's on you. I don't want my kids looking up to someone other than the people that provide for them in the household, though. Like, my you know what I'm saying? You can be a fan,
unfortunately,
but
though, you can do that in your own household. But unfortunately, a lot of kids are influenced by these athletes, by these movie stars, by these people in music.
But that's where people like us come into play.
Yep, you gotta have that strong father figure to say, "Hey, son."
Yeah, you gotta have a mentor, somebody you can reach out, other than the person that's just telling you what you want to hear.
So let's talk about mentorship. How important is that to youngsters?
I think it's critical. A lot of times, us older people, we get upset at young people. In the Marine Corps, when someone would get in trouble or whatever, you know, sometimes it's like the go-to is to ostracize them and make them feel like they're not worth something. But at the end of the day, my argument has always been the same. I said they make up less than 1% of the United States of America, and they're willing to go defend this nation. So, yeah, we may not like what they did, and they may be getting kicked out, but guess what? They're still ours. So what are we doing to make them better? Because at the end of the day, I want you to get out and be successful. Even if you weren't the best Marine, when you get out, I want you to move on and do something great. And if I can help influence that, by all means, let's make it happen. Like, because the military is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody. Everybody's not gonna come in and do 26 years. But hopefully they use the tools that they got in that to jumpstart whatever's next. And our job is to make sure that is taken care of. If you're willing to go fight for this nation, you should be able to transition and figure it out and be supported, and not just as a catchphrase of thank you for your service. Like,
I like to hope to think
legitimately.
I like to hope to think that's a good gamble for people in life, because if not, then if you're not taking the chance in the military and taking those chances of becoming a better man or woman, you're doing that in the civilian life. I hate when people say real life because no matter what, that's real life too. I think real life is military if that's what you want. You know, I know so many people that have learned how to be a great business person from HEB, and now they're working for a bigger company. I think it's just how you take it for sure, and that mentorship has a lot to do with it.
Yep. Do you think it's more difficult, or not more difficult, more challenging today to get people to join the military?
No, I don't think so. I like, and I hate to say it that way, but like a lot of people are anti-military, but pound for pound, the things that you get after 4 years in the military will jumpstart whatever you choose to do.
But a lot of people don't know it. They see all these different wars going. Maybe not wars, but conflicts going on. It's kind of unpopular because now popular today is being on the in crowd, being trending on Facebook or Instagram, and I think the military has lost its luster with the young.
I think the problem is this: the people that either don't support the military or have never been in it are the issue. I was a recruiter, talent scout for the Corps back in the day, so I dealt with a lot of parents and teachers and things like that. The issue was never the kid that was trying to get out of their situation or jumpstart their life or knew somebody else that inspired them. That was never the headache that I ran into. Never. It was always somebody else, an outside influence, a coach, a teacher, a parent, whatever. And I understand that because my mom didn't want me and my brother to go do this for a living. What I would argue is that if you can't give them a better way to get to where they want to be in life, what's wrong with this? And whether, like I said, after 4 years, the things that you get are beneficial for you. So
why didn't your mom want you to go to the military?
Why did she not?
Yeah, why did she not?
Oh, man, my mom was not. So I was not supposed to be in the Marine Corps. And my brother definitely wasn't supposed to be in the Marine Corps. My brother, someone called my mom when they saw me in the Marine office and said, you better get your son.
Your son over here.
He about to sign his life away, like legit. And my mom was at work, and so she called my brother. So my brother ran down to the mall to save me from signing my life away, and we both left enlisted. So, hey, so it did not go the way that she wanted.
My grandfather told me not to. My brother was on the ROTC, and he never went, but I kind of wanted to for a couple years there, and my grandfather told me not to, and I wish I wouldn't have listened to him.
Well, what I tell everybody is everybody's path is their path.
Yeah, for sure.
So whatever your path is, do it. If someone's never been in the military, that does not bother me at all. Just own your own thing and be good and be a good. At the end of the day, be a good person. Be a good person. The person at HEB, like I go to HEB. I want somebody there that's competent. Like I want somebody there that wants to be there.
I want a specialist.
Yeah,
I
really.
If I get old and I want to work at a place, that's where I'm going to work. HEB. I'm not gonna lie. I just love being around people like that.
Hey, I'm old. You know, I'm gonna have to look in that HEB. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you this, Donnie, and I'm sure you can attest to this. You kind of led it earlier. If these youngsters knew and understood and comprehended what the military service can offer them, they'd be a line all the way to the damn Alamo, ready to join. It gives you so many intangibles: leadership, followership, competence, confidence, and so on and so forth. These young people that don't want to join or are anti, they just have no clue. And you hit in the head earlier, they're influenced by people that have never served before.
Yeah.
When I was a recruiter, some of the biggest objections that I got was, oh, you're going to go die in war. You're going to go work for the man.
I heard that too.
So, and I would tell him, look, young man, we're all at war here. A war with society. You can walk outside and get shot today.
Yeah,
you can walk outside and get hit by a bus.
Yes.
You know what's scarier than joining the military? Waking up in 4 years still doing the same shit that you're doing right now. That is scary.
What I used to tell people was that, look, I didn't even know what I wanted to do in life until I was almost at the end of my first enlistment. Like, I was still figuring it out. So what's the worst case scenario that can happen? Like, at the end of the day, everybody's afraid to die, but I'm like, I got it. But just like you got a birthday, you got a death date, and you don't know when it is. So when you die, no one's talking about how you passed away. What they're talking about is how you lived and what you did. What was your legacy there? So,
or Donnie, they're afraid to die, but there's stuff in their face with 10 pounds of burgers, stuff in their face with soda and sugar and all that, but they're afraid to die. you said what they put into their body, into their temple, is so valuable
thing,
too.
I think it's an education thing. Like I eat differently now than I did when I was 18 to 25, right? But you got to become conscious of where you want to go. Like a lot of the things that I've done in life are things that I said I want to do. I wrote a book because I said I would write a book. I went scuba diving because I never had that option. And I said, if I ever get the opportunity to do this, I'm going to do this. The first time I jumped on a plane was to go to boot camp. And I remember I was counting states and hype. Mom, I'm in California. Mom, I went to North Carolina. And then I went to a different country and I was like, I stopped counting states. I started counting countries. I'm not dying with regrets. I'm dying with memories.
Regrets? Yeah, man.
No regrets.
Do you have a tattoo say no regrets on there?
No. I just think your tattoos tell a story. So.
Well, you do got a good story, man. So we talked about all these different things you got. You're a scuba diver. You're an author, Master Guns, all the clothing lines. What is your most crucial and critical and rewarding role out of all those accolades that you have?
I think being a father and a husband. I mean, I love being a dad. Like, as a father, I don't have jewelry from my great grandmother to pass down to my kids. Like, my wife has heirlooms like that matter. I'm not giving my kids my boots, but what I'm giving them is memories. So if I was to pass away, I want when they do things and they experience things, they think, man, this reminds me of my dad. And I think that as a father, that's your role. Like, your job is to create great Americans. And you can only do that by one, being there, being engaged, and having that dialogue. I'm at a really good place with all of my kids. Like, our relationships are good. At least I think so. If so, y'all let me know. I don't know. But I love being a dad. It's an amazing feeling.
It is. It's monumental.
And I'm a girl dad, and I love it.
Yep.
I love
as well.
it.
We talked about that. I'm a girl dad as well. Even my dogs are girls. I got.
My dog is too.
I got all girls. I don't like the boy dogs. And I at first when we were first creating a family, I was like, I really want a boy. Football player or whatever. I'm completely satisfied and ecstatic.
Somebody asked me that one time. They said, do you want a boy? I said, you know what? I can't lie. At one point I did. But now that I've been a girl dad for so long, my girls are badass. Like, my girls have done things that most people don't do, let alone men or women. Like, my girls have climbed Mount Fuji with me on the hardest trail that existed. My girls are my scuba diving buddies. My girls have done Tough Mudders, Spartan races. Yeah, they're. And and I like that my kids come to me for advice. Like, if your kids are stepping out and asking everybody else for advice but you as a parent, then what are you doing wrong as a parent?
Yep.
That's the way I look at it. I like it. They may not like the answer sometimes, but the fact that they're willing to come talk to me lets me know that I'm at least hitting the wickets that make them say, hey, you know what? I can go talk to my dad. And I love that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about legacy. All right, before we wrap this up.
All right. So
you dad, father, family man, you got all these military accolades, your leader, mentor. What when at the end of the day, what are people going to say about Donnie E Current II and how he lived his life?
I hope at the end of the day, if anyone talks about me after the fact when I'm gone, they say, one, I did my damnedest to be a really good person. No one's perfect, but I definitely tried. And also that I impacted everyone that came across me. I am a big proponent of when you meet somebody, you impact them in some way, right?
Oh, that's somebody.
Hey, don't worry, it's all good.
Yeah.
AI,
Siri couldn't understand that.
When you meet somebody, you impact them in some way. And it's either positive or negative. Like, even the easiest thing in the world to do is be kind. And you never know what someone else is going through. So I hope that everyone that's ever come across or interacted with me has been impacted in a positive way, and they remember that. Hopefully, they're talking about me the same way I talk about some of my mentors for years to come. So
I love that, man. You're a passionate dude. You bring it. You got a great attitude. You got the big smile. Cuba Gooding Jr. We said that earlier.
I got a buddy that called me Cuba Fox. I was
Cuba
like,
Fox.
he's like, you like a mix between Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jamie Foxx. I was like,
Yeah, man.
Shut up. J-Rock, that's not that funny.
You got something laughing over here, too.
I was like, man.
Hey, all right, we're going to end the day with this. Look, I got some fortune-telling cookies. You ain't got to eat it, but let's see what your fortune is. Both of you.
All right, let's see.
You ain't got to eat it, but just see what you got there.
All right.
I opened mine up, and mine said, while you open yours up, mine said...
All right, Donnie, I'll let you go. Oh, I'll let J-Rock go
You can't
first.
make someone else's choices. You shouldn't let someone else make yours.
Ooh, I like that.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
In bed? Is that what we say? No.
All right, go ahead, Donnie.
All right, mine says, the star of riches is shining upon you. I hope so.
In bed.
I hope so.
In bed. You're supposed to say in bed all these
Yeah, I hope my wife's looking at this podcast.
What was it again, Donnie? One more time.
It says, the star of riches is shining upon you.
No.
In bed. Hey.
So for my daughters, I say in school.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
school? Okay.
All right. For me, any impatience you show will only create more stress.
Facts.
In bed.
Yes, 100%.
Any impatience you show will only create more stress. Maybe we need this in your book.
Yeah, stop being impatient.
Part 2, yeah. And one thing, Donnie, I do not have patience. Man, that is one of my biggest weaknesses.
You don't have patience?
How old
I don't
are your
have
girls?
I don't have patience.
How-
One's 13 and one is 12.
Oh, you about to learn about patience.
Oh man,
You are about to learn about patience.
I need patience. So
Dude, I already
Man.
picture, like, you remember the Bad Boys?
Yeah.
Whenever
Oh,
the boyfriend comes
With
in.
Will Smith and Marlon.
Yeah, I want to take her out.
Look
It's
like
going to
you're
be a
45.
Johnny.
oh
Hey.
man.
The only thing is that when we answer the door, me and Johnny are going to be shorter than the actual boyfriend, probably.
Hey. Yeah, you'll get there. We all get there. I mean, I think it's just, we evolve, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the person I was when I came in the Marine Corps. 20 years from now, I hope I'm not the same person sitting here right now.
Real quick, I said that was the last question. I got one more. Give me some advice, or don't give me advice. Give young people advice that are trying to start their life, man. What do you give them?
Find somebody that has made it and talk to them. Ask the real questions and don't run from work. The greatest feeling in the world is autonomy. To be standing on your own and succeeding. Like I said, I would have never thought I would be where I'm at right now. Like, ever. I definitely wouldn't think I'd have a clothing line. I'd have written a book. I'd own a house. Like, the things that I've accomplished, I would have never known. And the things that I've experienced, I would have never thought of either. So figure out what your passion is and chase it. And if you can't chase it and you don't know how, somebody you know has done it. That's why I tell everybody, I keep my social media, because somebody back from my hometown of Muskogee, Oklahoma, is looking at my page saying, wow, that person was right here where I'm at today, and look where they're at now.
He's inspiring me today.
Yeah, and if I can inspire somebody else by doing my thing, and that's humbling, because I have a lot of people that are doing such amazing things. Like, I love going back home. I see people that are trying to be the change they want to see in the world every day. So I think
Bottom line, value,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Hashtag value. That's what you bring. You bring relationships. You bring wisdom, knowledge, and mentorship. I love that.
Money.
Comes the hand
Donnie.
again. Comes the hand again from Johnny.
Don't.
Johnny, I found Heathcliff.
Don't. You found Heathcliff? Can you bring that? There it is.
Is that Heathcliff?
That's Heathcliff.
Yeah, that's
See, his
it.
Garfield's worse.
I used to
Garfield,
have I used to have the comic books, and I used to read them religiously, and they made me who I am today. Heathcliff.
I forgot what Heathcliff actually looked like, and then I just seen that, and I'm like, that's.
My bad, Johnny. I
So
thought it was funny.
today's podcast is sponsored by Top Flight Realty Group. You can find them in the San Antonio area with trust, faith, and confidence. You can find them at topflightrealtygroup.com. Donnie E Current II. Thanks for your service. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Oh, it's my
It's
pleasure.
been great chopping it up with you, just kind of talking about aliens, pyramids, life, mentorship, being a dad, being a role model. You really get it, my friend, and I look forward to having you on later on down the episode line. And here's the words of wisdom that I got today. Don't chase money, chase relationships. If you
Facts.
build great relationships, everything else, success, money, accolades,
It'll come.
prestige, credibility will all follow you.
Nice.
So with that said, thank you for watching the Social Plug podcast. You can find us on social media. Oh, wait. J-Rock wants me to, he's distracting me over there. Social Plug. All right, the Social Plug podcast. You can find us on social media, including Twitch. We do some live feeds sometimes. You can find us on Instagram. You can even find us on the new thing called Threads.
Oh,
All right, we just created that. Snapchat. You can find J-Rock on his OnlyFans page as well. I think he charges $25 a month on that.
$25, yeah.
All right,
I
so
must start
membership,
charging 50 for my feet, man.
And you can also find us on socialplugmedia.net. We got all the different full episodes, and we got a lot of good content. So, Donnie, with that said, we are unplugged on the Social Plug Podcast, and we'll see you next time.